was talking to Ice Spice.
He tried to get her back.
So if you notice,
yeah. So she yelled at him, right, in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And then after the fact, he tries to, I guess, mediate the situation, get her back.
And not only did she do that, this is BT, guys, one of the biggest awards for like this genre of people, black people, of course.
Genre of people, nigga?
Genre of people?
Genre.
I'm trying to be funny here, bro. The point is that this is one of the biggest hip hop and R&B places you could get nominated for, and is known throughout the world as one of the best places. So notice this is happening in real time in this environment.
One of the biggest stages for this genre of music.
The nigga awards.
Pause it. No, you can start the music.
So okay, they've been arguing for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good call, Fresh, to turn the music off.
Yeah.
Okay, they're still going there. You can see them conversing. And then they'll be fine. Okay.
And then there's a video of Ice Spice. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Can we at large this, by the way, Chris, if possible, or no?
I've been trying to see, but so far.
Okay, that's fine. Just roll it.
It's fine.
Fuck it, just roll it. Just enlarge it on there, and you know how to do that? Like, click the top left screen. Yep, there you go.
So basically, he was begging back for her.
Yep.
Right there in public.
Let's go ahead, run it. Damn.
Wait,
okay, and then next one.
What's a smiley?
Uzi Vert and JT leaving the BET Awards
So after
all
all that happened, he still left with her, and like nothing happened, honestly. And there's a video of him, her throwing the phones at him. We got that one to Chris or no? I think Mo had it in there as well in the chat. But she literally throws a phone at him in his face and walks away.
So let's get the timeline of events.
Crazy.
So she yells at him first.
Yeah. So basically what happens
Give
is
us the timeline.
she hears him talking about Ice Spice basically in this recollection, right? In the song. And she's like, I don't know what it is that triggered her, but something with her name triggered her. I think she hates her or something like that. And as a result, she got up, threw the phones at him, and then showed at him nonstop.
So what we saw first was after throwing the phone at him.
After, yeah.
Okay.
So then, as you can see, he's like, you know what? Let's calm this down. I'm gonna talk to you real quick and figure it out.
And he's talking to her during the performances on his knees.
And Ice Spice, I think she does something in the background. I can't remember what she does, but something in the background, like kind of like he's the whole scenario. But I don't know what it is she did, but it was there on camera. It was just like, I don't know what she did. She was like, it just said, hey, it was just like that. But she was getting mad because of that. So.
Okay. Well, okay. And then are we missing anything, Mo, on your end to the story?
You think it would have been different if it was like a different genre of people?
What are you trying to say, bro?
No, I'm just asking. Like, you think if it was a different genre of people, it might have worked? I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna speak to that, I will say this. This might be offensive. Okay, what I'm about to say does not necessarily represent any of the members of the panel.
Nothing you say represents me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say
ever, nigga.
This is my games.
I like black people.
Yeah.
All right, I want to be clear about that.
I like all my black queens.
Yeah, man.
So, what I will say is, what I've noticed in the black community in general is that there tends to be a lack of respect for male authority, and we can talk about the systemic situations why behind that, but a lot of, I think, 2 out of 3 African-American children are raised in a household without a father present. So there's just a lack of a father figure.
Like Jay-Z ain't have a dad. Look at him. You feel me?
Yeah. He's the exception to the rule. But in general, right, there's a lack of the father in the household. So therefore, there's no respect for male authority in the black community in general, which is why, obviously, I think the way he's behaving the way that he is, and then she's reacting the way that she's reacting because we live in a culture nowadays where they say niggas ain't shit. If you look at hip hop music, it shits on men a lot of the times, and both sides. The men shit on the women too. But there's just a general lack of respect for the opposite gender in that community.
I mean, just her music alone speaks volumes about how she treats men. It's just crazy. But ladies, what's your thoughts on this? We'll start right here.
It doesn't have to be about race, just in general with the Uzi verse situation.
Yeah.
I think that was insanely like out of proportion. I think that was very disrespectful, and she shouldn't have thrown the phone at Lil Uzi like, "Oh, that's my man's, bro." Like, but no, like that was completely unprofessional.
Let's say in a parallel universe, let's say that was you throwing the phone. If your man took you back, this is Lil Uzi Vert, would you respect him the same way? You shot at him, good couple minutes or a couple seconds, whatever. Throw the phone, multiple phones. Would you?
Multiple phones.
I think it was one or two. Can't remember.
Okay. To be honest, if he got on his knees like that, I don't know whether I would find it like insanely hot or like I would like just lose respect for him. It's kind of like in the middle. I don't know. I would lose respect for him, but like at the same time, it's kind of like, damn, like you're on your knees for me. Like you're
Depends
my
what he
bitch.
did, right? What did he do? That's what I'm still trying to get. What did he do before that actually caused her to freak out? I didn't get that from the start.
Well,
He
this is
texted
only showing
Ice
when
Spice.
he said her Ice Spice's name in the
Okay.
song.
He mentioned a female artist.
Yeah, another
In a
artist.
song.
Apparently. And I don't know if there's a beef, whatever, between JT or the City Girls and Ice Spice, but whatever it is, there's something going on there. And because he said her name, that triggered her for some reason. I don't know why.
It's completely unreasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't worry, guys, we're
For
gonna
that.
get to the chats here as well. But sorry, what I want to get everybody's take on it. What about you? What's
I
your
just
thoughts?
said it's completely for that. It's completely unreasonable.
Okay.
It's ridiculous.
What about you?
I mean, I don't think we know her full reasoning. Maybe she has an
Okay.
issue with her already. So I just think maybe something happened people don't know about that caused her to get so upset. I think she has her head on her shoulders, probably knows she's at a big event. And maybe there's a reason she was so upset.
Okay.
She was following Kevin Gates.
Okay.
I got two
Uh,
phones.
we'll go to you. Yeah. That's we'll go to here and then Brandon, I want to get your take on it. What do you think? What's your take on that?
I would definitely not act like that at a big like award like that with a bunch of people. But yeah, we also, like my sister said, we don't know actually everything because if she's gonna act like that in front of so many people, it's probably more than him just saying the
Okay.
name.
All right.
Mhm.
What about you?
Yeah, I also agree on that. Like there's probably some things that build up to that for her to react like that.
Mhm.
But I don't think it's reasonable for her to do that at a live event with all those people watching her. I think that she could have gone another way and corrected
Private.
him in private. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
punch him in the face. Stop him.
If you're throwing your phone at your boyfriend, that shouldn't be your boyfriend. You just shouldn't be throwing phones at the person you're supposed to love. He also shouldn't be on his knee. Like, this is just such a mess, and they should have exited the relationship prior. And also, if he wants to be cool with Ice Spice and his girl's not, like, either have your girl's back or don't be with your girl. Like you are together, but you don't know that like these things bother each other. I think they shouldn't be together.
Okay. What about you?
So I feel like he's setting the standard for how she's going to end up treating him again. So I
Okay.
wouldn't be
Mhm.
surprised if this does happen again. You
Okay.
know,
Brandon, what do you
What
thoughts
up?
on this, bro?
Well, here's the thing, man. It's like people are gonna do whatever they're like positively reinforced for. Like when they get like a positive reinforcement, they're gonna continue that behavior, right? So like him being on his knees was kind of like positively reinforcing that behavior. Unless if it's something he didn't want, right? Then maybe that wasn't the right move, man. I mean, you never know, man. Maybe he liked that kind of shit. You never, you know what I'm saying? He one of them motherfuckers who like paints their nails and shit. So maybe he kind of like his girl to whip his ass a little bit. You know? Like, you know what I'm saying? This guy's like that. And I ain't trying to like kink shame nobody if that's what you into, right? But if you're not into your girl fucking you up, then you probably don't want to reward her for fucking throwing projectiles at you in public. You know what I'm saying? Like, you probably don't want to reward her for that, right? Like, positive reinforcement is like really super powerful. Like, I read a book on there's a weird book on people who train dolphins, and they only train them with positive reinforcement. They have these motherfuckers jumping through hoops, jumping through fire, doing all sorts of tricks. You can't whip a dolphin, right? So it's all positive reinforcement. And they get them to do everything. So like, but people are like that too. So if somebody does something you don't want, and you positively reinforce that, you can probably expect that to happen again in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I just think personally speaking, Lil Uzi Vert is a legend. But of course, him being a legend doesn't mean that his girl take advantage, because once again, if he allowed it to happen, it's because he, saying it happened either before, or for example, it happened in multiple instances before. And I think, personally speaking, Uzi knows his girl, so for him to say that I put in the song, come on, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
and then if it happened to BT, that's wild, bro.
You ever seen the way he danced though, man? He might like getting slapped around a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Could I say something as well? Because you mentioned that, like, could she respect him for taking him back after? I would guess that he probably loses respect for himself every time something like that happens and he takes her back, and that therefore lessens his ability to be able to put a guard up and really set some solid boundaries when that happens again. So every time he does that, he loses respect for himself. It's making it more likely for it to repeat in the future. You know what I'm saying?
And he might be scared. She way more than him.
Musically, I think
you know what I'm saying? Like she might be a little shook, man. You know what I'm saying?
We see the artist who knows Uzi, which is musically, he's like a freaking genius, I think, personally speaking. And like, that's who we see. But the person behind the artist, his standards are probably not that high, because he's saying, you know what? Do this to me. I'll take you back. I'll buy you whatever you want. That to me is crazy. And then for it to be a BT, come on, bro. That's wild.
What's your favorite line? What's your favorite bar? Uzi Vert bar.
That's what
rock.
Yeah,
Oh, that's how it go. How it go? No, how it go? No, how
fresh, man. Go ahead.
Okay, fresh. How it go?
Nigga, no.
I missed it. Sing it, bro.
I just want to rock. I don't know, man.
He's a legend, though. You said he's like a legend. In
his song 20 minutes. I just want to rock. I mean, a bunch of them are.
How it go, man? How 20 minutes go?
Yeah, go ahead. Girl, why you keep calling?
Keep going.
Anyhow, go ahead, bro.
So I was taking some notes as you guys were speaking. So objectively looking at this, more than likely for her to lash out the way that she did at him, there's some aggravating circumstances behind the scenes that we're probably not aware of. He's a rapper, has money, status. He's probably having sex with a bunch of groupies, cheating on her, lying, whatever it may be, right? We can just speculate because we know what comes with guys like him typically, right? Now, with that said, right, him doing all that stuff, it still doesn't give her an excuse to behave the way that she did. But what I think guys need to take away from this and learn from this is that thanks to feminism being here, a lot of women don't respect most men, if I'm going to be all the way 1,000 with y'all, because most women out-earn men. A lot of women are more career-oriented. More women are more ambitious than a lot of guys nowadays. A lot of guys are sitting there whacking off to porn and playing video games and not getting their shit together, right? So a lot of women by default don't respect most men. Now, what I would argue, right, and I talked about this briefly a second ago, but this is even more pronounced in the Black community, where there's the absence of the father, there's the absence of a male authority, there's absence of men in the community to look up to. So a lot of the time when Black women grow up, they don't have a father there. Every male they do have in their life or know is maybe involved in drug trafficking, involved in criminal activity, isn't necessarily a role model, right? And the guys that they did deal with, they were doing some bullshit. So there's just a negative taste in her mouth when it comes to men in general. And I would say it's even more pronounced in the Black community. So she manifested her anger and frustration towards him in the worst way possible on the biggest stage ever with the guy's status, which what women don't understand is when you embarrass your man publicly, you also make yourself look stupid, because what you've now proven is that you're with a lower value male that doesn't have your respect. And you look like an idiot as a woman, because now since you've disrespected him and he took it, you inadvertently put yourself in a leadership and dominant role, which as much as women sit there and say they want to be, strong and powerful and independent, blah, 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 no girl wants to lead their man. That's the biggest lie I think we tell modern day women, is that you can be a leader of your man. It doesn't work that way. No woman wants that shit. So with Uzi Vert accepting this, what's going to happen now is she now controls the frame of the relationship, because he's effectively told her your behavior is acceptable. As a matter of fact, I'm going to apologize for my behavior and I'm going to tolerate your behavior. So now it's only going to get worse here, because now she has the leverage. He's the one in the weaker position. And what I tell y'all in this podcast, when women have the leverage, they're terrible people. So she's going to continue to disrespect him even more so.
And you made a good point. Who does it really hurt ultimately? Her
and
for
him.
Sure, but him, he's famous.
Yeah.
So now it looks like he's a little like bitch.
Women don't lose status from having a man disrespect them. I'll give you an example. No one thinks twice that Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. People are going to continue to listen to single ladies. People are going to continue to give her respect. She's going to keep getting booked for Super Bowl, whatever the fuck. She's still going to be an icon. If she was to do some fuck shit to Jay-Z, though, it will hurt his reputation, because when a man gets cheated on, he loses status. When a woman gets cheated on, it might even increase her status. Look at Kobe Bryant's wife.
Will Smith.
Look at Will Smith. That's an example of your girl cheating on you, losing status. Dude, the guy's a fucking legend, and his name has been tarnished because his wife is a whore. His wife is a whore. And did some stupid shit. Took no accountability for it. Put out in front of everybody, and now he's lost status because of that. Yeah. But I guarantee you, if it was the other way around, and you smashed a chick and she stood by his side, she would regain respect. And I think Kobe Bryant's wife is a good example of that. Beyonce is a good example of that.
Yeah.
So,
RP.
Yeah, guys, female disrespect will fuck you up and tarnish your legacy down the road. But you disrespecting her won't necessarily tarnish her legacy. When men have the leverage, it always works. When women have the leverage, it's an L.
Did Will Smith fuck you up?
What?
Will Smith fuck you up?
I was asking Mo, man. I was trying to get Mo to find a video of Lil Uzi dancing, man. Like I feel like we need to. I feel like we need to see this so y'all can really understand the kind of nigga we talking about. Yeah, I feel like it shed some light on this shit. You know
yeah, he is fairly feminine. For the audience out there, paints his nails, makes a lot of crybaby music.
He award dress.
Doesn't go to the gym and train seriously. You know, very skinny, frail. And that's another thing too. I think that's a good point. That's the importance of image as well. Like when you're in shape, guys, and you're a physically imposing person. I'm not saying your girl's gonna, oh my God, he's gonna beat me up. But there's something in the hindbrain that lets people, when they look at you, they're like, oh, there might be a physical consequence for this. Let me not disrespect this individual. You know, I think this is very apparent in men because when men meet each other, there's a unspoken respect because they know that it can get physical.
There's always a threat of violence.
There's always a threat of violence.
But you know, sometimes women though, this is like kind of my, like I've broke up with or left like a lot of women for this because they would like talk to me like loud and shit, you know, and I'm like, I'm thinking, yo, bitch, I have like really fucked people up. You know what I'm saying? like what do you do? Why are you doing this? Right. And I just feel like they feel like they knew they could get away with it because I wouldn't hit a woman. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, now it's like
now you're trying me.
Yeah. Oh, why are you fucking with me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I had to like leave that situation.
And the thing is, like, you're a guy that's in good shape. So if you're a guy and you're small and frail and you have feminine characteristics, they really think that they can do that shit to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. I guarantee you, his chick probably to some degree thinks that she can physically.
She weighs more than him.
Yeah,
maybe in a different weight class.
Yeah,
like, I'm not even joking about that.
Like this is the importance, guys, of being in shape, man. Like if your girl's bigger than you,
look at this.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
he might not mind getting slapped around a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Yeah. When it comes to Uzi, right? I think, for example, his work ethic is crazy because the music he puts out and the work in the studio he does is crazy. But his image itself is definitely not masculine. So
it's not.
Yeah, it's like Prince or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is too, you got to remember his girl is extremely masculine. Oh, so it's like, you know, when you deal with girls that are hyper masculine like that, you have to elevate your level to your masculinity to a level that you might not be comfortable being in. You got to be damn near ready to slap a bitch to get her in line.
You got to be fucking Rambo.
Yeah, you got to be like, it's crazy. and I tell y'all on this pod, right? I tell y'all, don't deal with masculine women because you're gonna have to be at a level of masculinity where you're damn near almost on violent mode all the time to get her in line. Some girls like that shit, but is it worth?
You got to really have your communication skills.
Yeah,
in order,
like nah, man, it ain't worth it. So just get with women. This is the importance of a girl having a strong masculine figure in her life, whether it was her father, her brother, maybe a uncle that was involved, a strong stepfather if he stepped in when she was still young or whatever. Like it will allow her to have a general respect for male authority in general, and that will make your job a lot easier. You could tell a lot of times when a woman grew up with a father in her life, it's night and day difference a lot of times the way they behave.
Okay, so fellas on the panel, how would you handle this situation here if that was you?
If like
if it even got there,
because it was so much shit. Like I get a phone thrown
from
at
the
me?
very beginning. Let's say you're an artist, you're performing. She didn't like what you said. Maybe you had a fight the night before. She acts out like that in public. What do you do?
Is she attacking me? What are you talking about?
She's throwing phones at you, shouting at you.
Oh, it's like when it gets when it gets violent, right? You know what I'm saying? You gotta like. I was joking about fucking communicating all that shit, but the truth is, like, you can't get away with hitting a woman even if they deserve it. Like chicks have hit me before. I didn't talk to them again, but they hit me. I didn't hit them back. It's just you take evasive action because that's the case, and you can't get back. You can't come back from that. Like reputation wise.
Even if you're in your right to knock her the fuck out, don't do it.
Yeah, like fucking.
It ain't worth it.
And I'm like a G, right? Like
it's tough.
Y'all know me, man. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all know my past and shit. Whatever. Fuck it. I've talked about that shit before. Like for a bitch to hit me is like insane. For anyone to hit me is like insane. You know what I'm saying? And but like yeah, like 2 chicks hit me before, and I was just like, oh shit, I just took evasive action, and then I was like, all right, and I just never talked to them again because that's how you catch a case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know
that's
what I'm
the only
saying?
way to do
Even
it.
in those sip shit, it's like you're gonna catch a case and your reputation's gonna be fucked up, and you're gonna be forever known as like a woman beater, even if she hit you first.
They won't even want to hear your side.
No,
I
it
mean,
don't even
controversial take.
Chris Brown,
Rihanna beat the fuck out of him first.
100%.
But
That's a
the
fact.
story has been spun that he attacked her, when in reality, she was beating his ass in a Lamborghini. He had nowhere to go. She was literally assaulting him for minutes. Then he finally retaliated. And that, but they all they remember is the pictures of Rihanna's face. That's all they remember.
Yeah, you can't not hit a chick, no matter how much she deserves it, no matter how much you want to.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
It's
don't do
not
it,
in your
man.
best interest, bro.
Don't do it.
I would say this. So I'll take it a step further. I would say don't even date a musician or a female that's an entertainer in the first place.
Mm.
And
Sheesh.
there's a reason for that. So number one, they have higher levels of infidelity and cheating and divorce in general. That's statistically proven from a divorce attorney. And then the other thing people really need to remember when you're dealing with a woman that's an entertainer or whatever, gonna sound dark, but a big part of the reason why she openly was okay with disrespecting him like that in public, what's it gonna do? Clicks,
Raise her
views,
awareness.
attention, clout. Okay? Because now she's the winner from this. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like from
100%.
in the court, and you know, in this feminized, crazy clown world that we live in, right? If she did this shit in like a Middle Eastern country or a country where the gender roles are very clear and concise, they'd be like, this bitch is out of order. Get her the fuck out of here. But in the United States, where it's a clown world, oh, you go, girl, whatever. They're going to empower that fuckery. We empower degeneracy here. So when you're dealing with a woman, right, that makes her money off of garnering attention, don't be scared when she garners that attention at your expense.
Yeah. Well said. And you know the worst part? He's seen groveling at her feet, basically, trying to calm her down.
But when you see that dancing, are you surprised? Like, seriously, like, I don't know. I feel like everybody's glossing over that shit. Like, this shit shouldn't be shocking
You're
when
right.
you see a motherfucker doing that shit.
You're right.
You know?
Like,
He had his
always-
tongue out and shit like a thought.
Now, I will say this. I asked you guys, right, about men that you may have disrespected or men you witness get disrespected by their woman, right? I don't want to tell you all this because I don't want to give it away. But what I always say is that a woman's behavior typically is a mirror reflection of her man's inadequacies. If she's beating his ass, whatever it may be in public, especially if they're like in a long-term relationship, more than likely that guy doesn't have his shit together to some degree. Whether he's just a rich simp that pays her bills and she don't respect him, or he's a guy that's attractive but a bum and doesn't take care of business behind the scenes and have his shit together financially. Regardless, when a woman is attacking you or disrespecting you blatantly in public, etc., it says a lot about the man, and it's the man's fault for allowing it to even get to that point. Because a girl never shows up on the first day and sucker punches you. No, it starts with a minor insult here, then it goes with a not listening to your order here, or then it goes with, hey, can you do this for me? And she says no. It's a snowball effect, right? It never starts with her sucker punching you in the beginning. That's the end cause of you fucking up multiple times. So
unless she's Latina, man. I'm just saying, man. Like I seen some shit I can't unsee, bro. Like yo, you ain't Puerto Ricans.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Brazilians, bro.
I'm telling you, man.
Bro, it's
like then in that case,
you
can't fix her. That's a girl you just streets immediately.
Yeah, just avoid.
Curb immediately, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about a girl that you were with, and she wasn't like that in the beginning, but then she ends up becoming more aggressive or angry or even assaulting you because you're such a fucking loser.
Yeah.
That's the only way. She mentioned frustration earlier. Frustration from women typically comes at the end of repetitiveness of you not getting your shit together, her having to get in her masculine to tell you, go to work. Hey, maybe we should go to the gym. Hey, do that. If a girl's like coaching you and telling you what to do about shit that you should already be doing as a man,
yeah,
you fucking lost, bro.
Yeah, what you're saying is true for the most part, but if you meet one of these Puerto Ricans, you know the ones with the black lipstick and the fucking black lipstick, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. That bitch will fucking stab Conor McGregor, man.
But
Like, she
that's
don't
your
care.
point, bro. So honestly speaking, this just goes to show that nobody's safe. Celebrity, average guy, below average guy. If you're not on your shit, this could be you. Now, there's also another
And
scenario.
you can't be feminine. Your status and money can't save you all the time with chicks sometimes. Like you're being being feminine, whatever. Like look at his girl. She just literally tried him in front of everybody.
But typically what happens is, let's say a guy gets a girl, right? They're going well for a little bit. Maybe he's on point. He has frame. All right, he's doing good work. Then he slacks off, gets comfortable, and things start to go, turn where like the girl's more masculine than him. This happens too as well. But I think personally speaking, it's setting standards. As you said earlier before, people want to love, to do things that you actually love for yourself. So
yeah, I'm saying
Pretty
it's
much.
like because that shit happens.
If you
that
love
shit
it,
can
it
happen
will
like
happen.
once, but it shouldn't never happen again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For one, either you leave or you got to communicate. You know what I'm saying?
Communicate.
but it should only happen once.
All right, so we'll go.